Alright, so this is my project for my PD final. As you can see here, we're using 3 sound samples. This right here, the alien tops, is a drum beat. The ooh is a human-like kind of synthesized ooh sound, and the trumpet is just a trumpet trill. And these sounds are ones that have been saved sequentially. I've deleted a few in between that we're just testing out in the process of my array and patch creation. So basically what we have here is a MIDI synthesizer slash sampler, and it basically creates a really interesting mashup and overlay of the sound samples that I loaded into arrays, including the ooh sound, the trumpet, and the drum beat. So these all have kind of different lengths. They're all in between about 4 seconds and probably 10 seconds. So the sampling rate is a little different for each. And basically what this enables you to do is with this, it controls the, basically creates a metro, so it's like a repetition of the note. And this is when the Mayakai MPK Mini is set to CC mode. It's the first pad is Control N24, and when I put that on, you can basically hear the metro continuously going, and then what we have right here, the Control N4, that allows me to adjust the rate at which the sample that I'm playing is metroing and retriggering, and these both kind of act like a DIY arpeggiator. And then here we have, this allows me to change in between which sounds I'm playing with. These right here, the click to initiate background drum, trumpet, ooh sampler, enables there to be a background loop effect going on while you're playing around in the MIDI keys. One really interesting thing about the MIDI creation that I developed, it allows me to scale in order to play key-dependent portions of each sound sample. So since my MIDI keyboard only goes from 48 to 72 for the key data, I decided to rescale it, which was the main reason that I ended up using PD Extended as opposed to PD Vanilla and the original PD that we've been working with for a long time. It allows me to play the beginning of a sound sample by pressing the lowest key, and then the highest key would be the end, so you might hear it, it sounds completely different in that way. And then so that scales it out, and then I have 3 synth voices that act as an overlay to my sound samples. So it's kind of like an interesting blend of piano and sampler. And I have the envelope set up for all that. It was really interesting to work with PD Extended as opposed to PD Vanilla, as it's obviously way more buggy, but it has a lot more interesting things you can play around with. I got to use phaser at a certain point in my project, and I didn't end up using it in the phaser squiggle, so with the audio symbol, that I didn't end up using. But so then here I have bend in, which enables me to control the amplitude of the pitch bend signal by scaling it from 0 to 1 with the max lib scale object. So here we have it just repeating using the Control N24. Take that off. And then here's the arpeggiator, bringing it around. Like it's the joystick-like effect, and it can also be used through the mod wheel. And then here I have a really interesting recording function that I chose to set up just for a little bit of convenience and kind of just figuring out how to streamline my future works. So I created color coding for click to start and click to stop. using the throw and record, I am enabling it to record all my sounds and all my sub patches. And here I have a high pass filter to reduce a certain amount of aliasing, but the recordings have come out really distorted, unfortunately, and I've worked really hard to try to avoid that, but haven't really found a pure solution yet. And I worked pretty hard finding a way to organize the sound, the file names, because I like bouncing around, creating a bunch of new files, testing everything out as I go. So I want to have a way to organize everything really simply. So right here I'm using trigger bang bang and floats to basically, if you click this 0 here, the sound files that you record will start back up at 0 for the first one you record, so it'll say sound 0, and then the next time you record it'll be sound 1.wave, sound 2.wave, sound 3.wave. And I also made it so that as I'm recording, this flashes to indicate that we are recording. So you'll never just click record and not be sure if you actually clicked it or if you had a slip of the finger. And it stops when you stop. And anytime you want to switch and start back at 0 with the file names, you just press this 0 right here. And everything else just automatically bangs for you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing with just figuring out how to route different sound samples to different sections, and overall it was a really, really educational experience.